Marriage Show with Regina Dorcas. Whatever it takes, you can fix it.
Hello and welcome to Spice the Marriage Show, where we'll talk and educate on relationship and marriage. And I am Regina Dorcas. Today on the program, we will be looking at the struggle of an African boy child. Well, why we have to talk about an African boy child today is because over the past few weeks and a month, if I have to say, there have been a lot of controversy on the social media, and it's like we are losing it. And I think it's high time we look at what it takes to bring back our boys. Now, where have we lost it? What are those things that our parents did the other time when they used to say the day of the hold? Whose phone is that? The day of the old, and now, what has changed? Why is the society so different that the boy children are now going astray? I have two wonderful guests in the studio today that will be talking to us about this wonderful topic. If you have any question or any contribution, or you want to be part of this program, please feel free to send us a text on any of the numbers scrolling on the screen, or follow us on all our social media platforms. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's Spice the Marriage Show, and it's all about relationship and marriage. And like I said, today we are not really going into relationship or marriage, but we are talking about African values and family values, which our topic says today, the struggle of an African boy child. Like the question I asked earlier on, where have we lost it? What are those things we can do to bring back our boy child? Like I cited, the past 1 month, the past couple of weeks, it's been hell on social media on the boy child thing. Now, we have to talk about it because we have to bring back our African values. Now, I have two special guests in the studio today that will be talking to us about this wonderful topic, the African boy child. I know a lot of men out there, they'll be very happy and excited that we are going to be talking about men, boys, children, boys today, because they feel they are very, very much marginalized. So I have two special people that will be talking to us about the boy child. Now, from my right, from my left, I have Mazi Dixon Namdi Irebu. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming again, because he's always there anytime I beckon on him. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. And I have Mr. Malvin Omorogbe, Esquire. He's a lawyer and he's here to give us what it takes to be a boy and not a girl. So you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
You're welcome. It is Spice the Marriage Show, and we talk about relationship and marriage. On this particular topic, we also talk about family values. That's where the African boy child falls into. So today we are going to be looking at what are their struggles? Where have we lost it? Like I said earlier, I still say, over the past few months and a couple of weeks ago, it's been hell on social media, cross-dressing, and the boy children going astray. And apart from the social media thing and all of that, in recent times, I think from my own side, I know all the feminists that are going to be against me. I'm a mother, so I need to talk about this. Men or children, the boys, are thinking that they are marginalized. They are over-marginalized, and I don't think a lot of fathers can take it anymore. So that's why I think we should talk about it. So, Mazi, I'm going to be starting with you. What is the struggle of a boy child? What is happening in our society?
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it. And the boldness to engage, on this very topic. I must commend you, being that you're not a boy.
Yeah.
You're not a girl dressing like boys.
Thank you.
But you are the one showing, that indeed there is a need to also look at this other end.
Yeah.
And it's important, because if we're building a society it's important that we balance the
yeah.
common interests. You know, live and let live. Where I come from, we practice that. So I couldn't be a man or a boy and be wanting to be like a girl.
Woman, yeah.
You talked about the cross-dressing issues and all of that. That's one of the things that is alien to our culture. It's alien to the tradition of our people. Seeing that a boy will start wanting to look like a woman. And so much so that the so-called boy, in fact, even to give attention to the name that is trending out there, it's an aberration for me. The so-called boy had to be given an award where women were. He was given an award as the best woman or the best dressed female, whatever. I don't know how those who came about that, how they came about the award. You know, for me, that was an insult on womanhood. It's an aberration whatsoever. Anybody, I don't care what view. You talked about those who are feminists and all of that. There are certain things that should not be allowed within this environment. One, I am an Igbo man, all right? Before you now say whether I'm part of the global community. Where I come from, there are certain traditions. There are certain things there is what we call alo, abomination. Such things as we're seeing now, you know, where the boy is being condoned as he's dressing and making up like a girl. I think we need to look at it again because it's an abomination. Now, what struggles are we having? Because why I focus on a bit of the cross-dressing thing is because there are young, innocent children out there, young boys out there, who may not necessarily know the implication of what this nonsense that is playing out is going to have on them. They may not necessarily know, you know, the negatives and all of that. And then because, a society where we now promote a lot about money or luxuries of life, we just see this so-called boy who cross-dresses, and so many of them now are in our society, and I see them living big, living larger than life, and all of that, because after all, it's not all about making it. So you see,
nobody's saying anything.
Those little boys would want to emulate these people and all that. So there is a seeming kind of abandonment of the male child in this society. We're giving. I'm not saying it is wrong. I have two boys and a girl. I'm not saying it's wrong for us to give attention to raising our girl child well and giving them all the attention that we should give them. We should give them the attention. But I think sincerely, while we're doing that, we have now abandoned the male side of the common existence of both male and female. I think that parents need to do a lot more. Even the society itself needs to also accept the fact that a man has a right to coexist here. All right. We shouldn't allow this. A man should not cry. A man is supposed to be strong and all of that. And many men are dying in silence. There is something wrong, and we just need to change the perception
narrative
we have about how that the man should not feel pain. Men feel pain too. Men cry. We are more like an endangered species right now.
Okay, Mr. Dixon, let's hear from Mr. Malvin. What is your take?
Well, for me, I think we need to look at the root cause first. And I think the family unit is failing. Society revolves around the family unit. And when the family unit fails, it ultimately affects the product of that family unit and invariably affects the society. Growing up, it was not very common to see a one-parent household. It was not something that we accepted, that we glamorized on social media. But these days, what you find is baby mamas, baby daddies, all over the places. And whether we like it or not, it is almost impossible for one parent to give as much attention to a child as would both parents. I do a lot of family law, and these cases come up every other day. So who should have custody of the boy child? Or who should have custody of the girl child? Now, the problem with the boy child beyond the family unit is that for so long, we have pushed the narrative of the girl child being marginalized. So NGOs are all over the place for the girl child and all. And it now appears that we don't even have equality between the boy child and the girl child anymore. The boy child has literally been abandoned. That is the second problem. If you go to my state, for example, in Edo, almost every other day, there are court killings. 90% of these court killings are youths in their teenage age or early 20s. Because nobody is actually placing any attention whatsoever on the boy child. Nobody cares about where he's going to, when he's coming back, whether he's actually going for lectures. Nobody is actually interested in the boy child. And it's even worse when you have a mother, with greatest respect to our mothers who are actually doing the job, a single mother or a single parent. Training a boy child is as difficult as anything. And you must have a father figure at home. It's very important. Now you go on social media and you see women trying to, train boy child as a woman. It's not done. You may think you're just catching cruise on social media, but invariably, that is where all this idea of identity confusion comes up. And they grow up to become these persons who call themselves transgenders and what have you. In this part of the society, in this part of the world, we recognize just two genders, the male and the female. So if for some reason a man is now purporting to be a girl, dressing like a girl, behaving like a girl, purporting to have sex change, and nobody is saying
Receiving
anything.
awards meant for women.
Nobody is saying anything.
Okay,
The society is acknowledging this thing as normal. Someone was on air the other day and he said, oh, there is no offense, as it were, that covers cross-dressing. Now, there is a thin line between cross-dressing and homosexualism, which the Same-Sex Prohibition Act expressly prohibits.
Exactly.
So, if the parents have failed, what about the government,
Exactly.
the society,
The law, yes.
the law? Why do we let these things just go?
Yes.
Looking at the fact that these people influence a large generation
Exactly.
of children.
Exactly.
So today is just one person. And in 5 years, you could just be walking around the street and you see someone or the number of children dressing like female children. What do you do?
Okay, now you talked about family values. Some parents are not there at that particular age. They say catch them young.
Yeah.
And by that age, when you're not there with them, it's always, that's what propels to this, where we are now. Now, for the men, Mazi, what can you say about that? Because
That formation stage is about when any parent, whether the mother or
the
father,
father.
should make
no,
an
I mean for the
impression.
boy child.
I get that. I get that. But I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you that that stage, every parent, whether male or whether husband or whether mother or father now, right, must be present, available at that time, because it is written, train up a child the way he should grow, so that when he grows or he or she grows, he will not depart from it. If the child is already formed and you now at old age want to correct, it's too late and all that. I agree that most fathers are absent in their homes. Most fathers are absent, especially in raising their children. Even when you have altercation or conflict with your spouse, it shouldn't take you away from you're playing your role, in the lives of your children. Even if the marriage does crash, every man out there, that you brought children, those are your seeds. How you want them to form, it's you. The mother only, yes, she would be all nice and all of that. Yeah, but you know what you stand for, what your family, like I tell my children, I say, while you're in school, know who you are. Why you mingle with friends, why you associate with people, know who you are.
And a lot of fathers don't talk to their boy children.
A lot of them are absent, I agree. And that's why even if you look at our society, ask yourself, the crop of leadership or the kind of leadership we have, are these leaders don't they have families?
Children.
Don't they have children that look up to them?
What
What
example
do they go back to? How do they? What do they tell them? That while I was governor, that I couldn't do anything. What are you? The father ought to be.
What legacy are you keeping?
You ought to be the one that inspires your child to become or attain greatness. And for me, the absence of every father in the home would, of course, amount to what we see today. In America, for instance. While we copy America in so many things, we should also look at the negatives in America, where a man can be asked out of his house in the name of scolding his child, in the name of spanking his child, where the society says, oh no, you're taking my child away from me. Where a child of 5, 6, 7, 8 years or 10 years is being told that he or she has a right to to change his gender and stuff like that. So you wonder, where do we draw the line when we discuss the issue of freedom? So I think that's why I emphasize that the male gender appears to be endangered in our society now, because women are given more attention.
Let me ask, why is there so much emphasis on the girl child? I'm sorry, I have to ask this question. Why is there so much emphasis on the girl child? When is that the boy is the one that carries all the load? I'm a woman. I just really need to know.
Well, I think it could be cultural. It could also be biblical. If you trace these things, the Bible says it is your responsibility.
As a man.
That a man who cannot provide is worse than an infidel. There is no such injunction on
For
a
a
woman.
woman.
So as a man, you already know from birth, you are being told it is your responsibility to provide. Nobody seeks to protect you.
I'm not talking about provision. I'm talking about you being, like the emphasis they put on a girl, taking care of a girl child and all of that.
So that is
The
where I'm
male child
going
not
to.
being given an attention.
So there's this desire to protect the girl child. There's this unfounded position that the boy child can take care of himself. And it is a problem. So right from when they are 3, 4, when you seek to protect the girl child, you say, oh, he's a boy. He will take care of himself. And then he's learning and making mistakes along the way. Some of these mistakes he cannot correct. But the girl child always have someone along the way whose responsibility is to protect her, to guide her, and to provide for her. More often than not, the boy child does not have such benefit.
Yes.
Okay, while I was preparing this topic, someone said something. You're complaining about transgender, people, male dressing like female, that cross-dressing and all of that. Now, while growing up, why is it that our mothers, when they give birth to a child, when they give birth to a female child, they will go and buy trousers? Like, that is where it starts.
No.
That they cross-dress.
We haven't seen the females cross-dressing to be like
as a baby.
The rampant one is the male gender trying to be like the female gender. That's the rampant one.
But don't say. We also have.
No, I'm not saying there may not be, but what is very obvious now is the aspect of a man wanting to dress like a woman and all that. Like, we haven't seen a woman who got an award for dressing better than a man. We haven't seen that, but we've seen a man who got an award for dressing better than women, better than a woman and all that. So for me, first off, I think sincerely from what the distinguished barrister said here is that for aspect of the male child being endangered and the more attention being given to the female gender and all of that could be the cause of all of this. And how do we reorientate our minds? That's where we'll now be looking at. Parents, it starts from the family unit. The absence of fathers. Fathers need to take their responsibility a lot more seriously. Because
now, before we take this part of this conversation, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll look at the way forward. Because I think it's getting it hurt here, and I think I'm learning. Because I really needed to know that fact why is there so much emphasis on a girl child. I'm a girl child, and I know there's so much emphasis on me. Yes, look at me. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Look at me. So if you have any question and any contribution and you want to be part of this program, please feel free to send us a text on any of the numbers scrolling on your screen or follow us on our social media platforms. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's Spice the Marriage Show, and we talk everything relationship and marriage. And today we've been talking about the struggle of an African boy child. And in the studios, I have Mazi Dixon and Malvin Esquire. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. Before we went on break, we were talking about the way forward on this transgender, cross-dressing, and all of that. Now, we've been talking about familyhood, where all this thing family units, where all this thing migrated from, and all of that. And you were trying to talk about parents or their fathers not being there. Okay, so let's take it from there.
Yes. Again, first, let me commend you for giving spotlight to this topic. And I won't believe there'll be more.
I think we are trying to do a series for this month concerning this.
We need to wake the sleepy consciousness of the fathers in their homes. I maintain that, you could have squabble, you could have conflict, you could have even divorce with your wife. It's not a problem. But the children you brought into the world, you owe them a duty to raise them with the fear of God, to give them the proper counsel. In fact, the man ought to be more like the role model of his children. Your children should aspire to be like you. And your greatest prayer for your children should always be that they become greater than you. The need for fathers to realize that their absence in their homes is creating a lot of, allowing a lot of alien tradition in our society, in our system, in our society, is the absence of fathers. The mothers should also please appreciate the fact that, yes, you give birth to a boy, raising that child, dressing him, or those things that you do to the child in the name of wanting to make him over handsome or beautiful boy and all those things, you may not understand. In the future, it could affect the psyche of the child. We must all take the responsibility that being a parent, it comes with a lot of responsibility. If you don't do well in that your pocket of family unit, it will trickle down to the larger society. We must all realize that. And then the society itself, we shouldn't wait for anybody. You're a lawyer, sir. Yeah, no, yes, we shouldn't wait for petition. The law enforcement agents, the police, shouldn't wait for petition. Hold on, please. Let me make this point. Shouldn't wait for any petition to come before they will take action against certain ills in our society. Like this so-called cross-dressing thing. You don't need to wait for a petition. We already have a law that frowns against same-sex. Anybody who suggests, whether by dressing or by behavior,
I think I'll allow the barrister. I'll allow the barrister to talk about this, because you already threw a light on it concerning what the law is meant to be. I think you should shed a little light on it. Let's know why is it happening, and why is your, I don't want to say your office, or why are they not taking action on this?
Well, we have...
And what does the law say concerning this?
The law is clear. The law prohibits same-sex relationship. Now, when you, as a man, right, purport to be a woman, and then you have relationship with a man, in reality, it's relationship between a man and a man.
As simple as
notwithstanding the fact that you have one was clothes that suggests that you're a woman, but it's actually a relationship between a man and a man. When the security agencies, and if they desire to bring an end to this cross-dressing issue, they will find the relevant provisions of the law. It's a matter of the will, the political will. Right? We may complain and we may raise petitions and all. A senior police officer was just on there about 2-3 days ago, and he said, oh, there is no law that actually criminalizes
imagine that.
Cross-dressing.
Imagine that.
So let's even assume that the law is not express. You, as an officer of the law, you have both a legal duty and a moral duty to ensure that these things are not encouraged. So when you go there with your higher office and suggest that there is no law that criminalizes cross-dressing, it means you are giving free access to all manner of persons to begin to dress the way they want to dress.
Okay.
So I believe that those who are in high offices...
And it's a major offense to be arrested and to be prosecuted on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Even it's 10 years imprisonment for displaying same-sex relationship under the Same-Sex Prohibition Act.
Is there no punishment for impersonation? If I am a man and I'm not dressing like a woman, that's impersonation. What are we waiting for?
Is there any law for impersonation?
Of course,
yes.
Of course.
That's impersonation.
So,
identity theft.
Impersonating to be a woman. You're not a woman. You should be a person.
So even if you cannot find a law under the Same-Sex Prohibition Act, what of issue of identity theft?
Come on.
You are purporting to be a woman when you're actually a man.
You go to the restroom at the airport or some pub. Are you saying as dressed as a woman, you go to the female restroom? What are we turning our society into? There should be people who can at least hold the excesses of social media influence on our side, hold them to account.
No.
And then our leaders of thought are not helping issues. When you see them associating with these so-called cross-dressers, what they are sending, the message they are sending is that it's okay to behave like this.
Yeah.
People like that, you don't give them audience. You don't give them attention. You don't encourage it. Because like someone said yesterday, we are destroying our generations unborn.
Yeah, that's why
The psyche
that
on
is
the
why
male child.
That's why we are
watching those
talking.
things
That's why we are
is
talking about
affected.
this, because I think it's high time we wake up and talk to our parents, because everything starts from home.
Yeah.
Everything's, whether you like it or not, those children have parents, they have siblings, they have uncles. I'm dedicating this month to the boy child because we really need to see how and what we can do to regain and put our boys back
On
to
track.
track.
Yeah.
Because whether you like it or not, they have lost it. A lot of them have lost it.
Yeah.
In different, not just in cross-dressing or anything, in their way of lives,
Yeah.
the things they are doing to make money, things they are, the way they are,
Desperation
the
to
desperation
belong.
to life and
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of boys don't even want to work, don't even want to do a legit business to get to where their parents or their relatives or people have gotten into. They want to have the fast lane. And I beg all of you out there, fathers, do the best you can do. What you did not achieve, make your boy child to achieve in a legit way, not in a manner where people will question your upbringing for your son. This is Spice the Marriage Show, and if you have any question and any contribution and you want to be part of this program, please feel free to send us a text on any of the numbers scrolling on the screen or follow us on our social media platform. I still remain your host, Regina Dokpesi. Bye for now.
Spice the Marriage Show with Regina Dokpesi. Whatever it takes, you can fix it.